the spring. I recall everything once more. In light of the sun, everything and everyone reborn. We got nowhere to be, just a slow dance with the summer heat. The world outside can't wait a few, 'cause right now we got nothing else to do. The sun is peeking through the cotton white blinds, your hands still tangled up in mine. Feet on the wall, your head on me, floating easy. We got nowhere to be, got nowhere to be. Your hair's a mess, but you don't mind. You just laugh, let it fall where it lies. Coffee's cold, but we take a sip, talk about nothing. Let the morning slip. Oh, it feels like that, like summer air through window cracks. Oh, it feels like that, like summer sun on quiet tracks. Oh, it feels like that, like the summer rain that falls so slowly on the naked skin upon your back. Oh, it feels like that, like a love song on a worn out track. Yeah, it feels like that, feels like that.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to some more Bad Pachimari League. It has been a fantastic couple of weeks here so far. A lot of back and forth here today. And, hey, we got another great game here today. Ignite Memories versus Aurora. And, Irrelevant, this is, I would say, a rather important game. You got 2-2 versus 3-1, respectively, between these squads right here. Both definitely showing a lot of what they can do so far. But I would say this is definitely a big test for these teams coming in today.
Yeah, especially, it being, mid-season still, this could put you up a higher seed, drop a seed, and map differential is heavy here, if depending on how these maps work out overall. But yeah, as you're saying, 3-1, 2-2. I mean, if Ignite Memories can pull off a sweep here, they will catapult themselves above Aurora, and they'll take second place along with just one win. If they sweep them here. So
yeah,
big incentive over there for Ignite Memories.
Yeah, no, it really is in this situation. For Aurora to get that, to move up to 4-1, it puts them in the beautiful position, and there's the power you get from being a top 2 team when you eventually reach that playoff berth. It's obviously something you really want to be able to have, because it's great to get into the playoffs, but the higher you have in that seeding, I mean, the easier a path you're going to have when it's really going to matter. So, like I said, it's an important game overall. Ignite Memories, obviously, they don't want to be below 500. That's not the situation you want. You can tell a lot by the history that we've had here right now, as Ignition Memories kind of had a bit of a rough time in the center there, but did manage to bounce back just last week, and in fact managed to perform better against the team than Aurora was previously able to do. So hey, read into that as much as you'd like to.
Yeah, and going to this, I mean, you see Daybreak, Ignite Memories got swept by Daybreak. Daybreak's right now at number 1. So when it comes to a topper team or, top 3 team, it's, the number one, it could be very different. Be different story today, better maybe team cohesion, better understanding about who plays what and how y'all play together. Very different than week 2 than it is right now in week 5. So I think Ignite Memories coming to this has, don't get me wrong, they have a lot to lose, but this is such a big game for them. Aurora just has to keep the settlement down of, we are here, we're number 2 for a reason. You were not able to take the spot from us. The other side, Ignite Memories wants to pull out the underdog win and show that we are not here to screw around. Maybe middle of the pack, but we can still prove that we're able to belong in the top 3.
Yeah, that's definitely what we're hoping to be able to prove in this matchup here today. But of course, before we get into it, we got to really figure out these rosters here before us, because obviously it's a lot of names that we are familiar fairly enough within the world of BPL here. So we have Oblivicator Retro on DPS. We have a 3-tank lineup right now with Jace, Tippy, and Unleashed Raptor. And then Sterling Resolve over on support. And you know what? Not a lot of teams that you see with the 3-tank lineup. Usually it ends up being 2. Sometimes it's the solo tank. But to have 3, it says something about what you believe in having just the 2 DPS and 2 supports that are going to be playing pretty much 24/7 in these matches.
Yeah, and this team is really flexible. Oblivicator is flex on all roles. Raptors flex on all roles. Jace can also play DPS. Sirly can also play tank. So you have 4 to 5 tank players that can take that spot if need be. Of course, if everyone's here, you play what you're best at. That's how the game plan should go. But it does help if someone is not here for this week. They have a lot of depth on this bench as a team to pick up where it lacks, no matter what.
Yeah, 100%. Oh, no, please go ahead.
I'm excited to see though. I had a scrim with these guys maybe a week ago with my team, and Jace was a great tank, T was a great tank. Raptor did play support though, the entire time. So we can see maybe starts off on support, maybe comes in as a sub for support. But I expect him to be support this time around.
We're going to see what the case is, but if we're talking about a team that does have a fair amount of supports, that would definitely be Aurora. They've got the singular tank over here with Dawes, and obviously you've got 3 DPS within Perseus, Wave, and Luster, and then 3 supports within Baka, Nightingale, and Funky Pants here. So again, names I'm familiar with, especially Dawes, a name I'm quite familiar with at this point here. This team obviously has the ability to perform extremely well. But if you look up on the history that they have yet to get a clean 2-0 victory. It's a lot of 2-1s, 2-1, 2-1, 1-2. They have yet to really show that they can beat a team outright.
Yeah, and that can be heavy because, on the other side of things, they're 2-0'd High Noon. They 2-0'd Borealis. I think that is. No, yeah, Borealis. Nurture. Probably Nurture. And, Aurora just has to prove here that they need to sweep this team to get map differential up, or they have to make these games close if it goes to a third map. If they lose a map, they have to make it at least 199 or very overtime centered area. They cannot be just, ran over on the second map or any map for that matter. But I'm excited to see Dawes. I've seen Dawes play. I love them. They're great. I've seen Percy play. He's scary. I'll tell you what, my head spins around 1,000 times trying to see him zip around as Tracer. So I'll be expected to see a Tracer ban for sure for Memories, because Percy is a big threat on that side of things.
Yeah, it definitely is. The bans are going to be extremely important as we kind of have gotten to a point where teams and players are ultra familiar and know how they want to go about doing a lot of these bans. And I think from what I have seen, especially in things like Faceit League, is I have seen that a lot of the bans seem to fall upon a particular few different heroes, but when we're doing something like BPL here, it really can stretch around a little bit because these players know each other well. They know what they like to play, so those targeted bans are a little more likely to occur in a situation like this. Now, obviously, it depends who's going to get that first ban right here, because you can't really specifically, it's harder to target ban when you go second because you don't necessarily have the freedom of doing all 3 roles. But if you're Ignite and you ban first, you could choose to simply, protect one of your roles. If you want to play Winston, you just get rid of Mauga, and there's not a thing Aurora could do about it. Yeah,
I think because their memories with the first ban, the first ban, you have the biggest advantage of just getting that first map unlock. like you were saying, ban, protection. I agree with that. I think you ban to protect for yourself, have the other side of things, scatter and be like, okay, well, maybe they wanted the tank ban to help themselves. Now they have to feel like, okay, what's our backup option? And is that going to actually help them out? Because, if you're not memories, plans this right, it's a good protection pick. They have a layout, team layout, they have a backup layout. And Aurora picks something that's not even in one of them. Memories has it from the get-go, I think. I think that first ban is so useful in the first game.
It really is. It's even more important when we're in these scenarios where these are first to twos. You don't necessarily have the amount of time you usually have to kind of bounce back and learn more about your opponent. So very much all kind of has to happen within this one fell swoop, and coming in with the vibe, hey, it's less about, if we want to target specific things, but sometimes more about this is the specific thing that would destroy our comp, the thing that would really put a wrench in there, so to speak. So I'm curious what kind of route they want to go down as we're going to be getting it figured out here, I'm sure, very shortly from these squads. As just going to, theorize for the moment here, Elvent, as we are going to get to the stream, as Freya ends up being the first ban, and not too shocking, Freya has been pretty prevalent, all things considered.
Yeah. Run of bans, Freya gets banned. And I'm looking now, most top maps, or top bans, Freya's been banned 17 times, 22% of the time, and only 6 of those have been ban wins. So, Memories deal with a 35%, or let me do this math the other way, 65% win rate, or loss rate with banning Freya first. So, don't on back foot with that, but again, Aurora had someone on the team showing that they were a Freya main. And Aurora takes out Lifeweaver. Not expected at all, in my opinion.
I would agree about 9 times out of 10, but we have somehow entered the world of Overwatch where Lifeweaver is a legitimate character that gets played in things like OWCS, which is still rather insane to me. But if you can find value, because it's the second ban, it's not really for protection, can't really protect with the second ban. But it also could be a scenario of, hey, there's nothing we particularly want to ban on this first map, so you get rid of something like Lifeweaver, just in big case, because that pull from Lifeweaver can be a big pain in the neck. You can use that tree to stop a lot of things. You can pretty much block line of sight in a tight hallway. You can cancel things like Sigma's ultimate, even if you time it correctly. So it has its uses, so time's going to tell if it means anything, but I think relatively it's probably just a ban because there's nothing they feel too strongly about at this time.
Yeah, first map being Junkertown, there's not going to be distance, right? There's just going to be so many distance. I get the Freya ban, you have a lot of unlimited range, and from what my knowledge is, there's not real much of a damage drop-off with her, her heavy bolt, which is scary. If you hit a shot, that is 80 damage guaranteed. And if you hit any scorch with that in the low, that's game over on the other side of things. But I'm excited. Coming to this, I do agree. I think it'll be Poke. Maybe there might be Sigma, there might be Winston. But I'm excited for a DPS lineup. I do think Genji could be a good pick, but on the other side of things, it's always iffy. Tracer could be good, but there's a lot of height, as you gotta take a lot of height. It's very doable, but it's gonna be a lot of scrambling, playing on your own, dealing with your own one-on-ones. Same time, maybe you play a flying character and just hope that they don't go hit scanning and things. Maybe a Cass could be a good secondary pick along with that. So I'm excited for this DPS lineup more than anything here.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how it's going to go down at the end of the day. And the bright side for these teams when it comes to the regular season is that every week the maps are predetermined. So when they go and do their scrimmages, they're able to simply kind of go through the same 2 or 3 maps if they desire, or maybe the same 2 or 3 archetypes you get from maps like these. So obviously that first map going to be extremely important. And the first map that we are going to, which I think is a map that can play both into the line of Poke and Dive, is going to be Junkertown. If, following that, Nepal is there, and if we need to have a tiebreaker, we'll have Blizzard World. But, we're going into Junkertown, like I said, Poke, Dive, realistically going to be the name of the game here, and I imagine with the Freya gone, things like Sojourn and Cassidy are very likely to make appearances here.
Oh, 100%. You would... Sojourn would be crazy, especially if they go with, an on-a-brig backline of some of that sort, which I assume will happen, or even if they go Lucio Kiri. I mean, Soj is going to play flank, and he's definitely going to get some head clicks here and there. If, they run Genji, Lucio flank, if they run that, or Nano Blade, I mean, you have to worry about 2 strong DPS that can just ignore the whole front line as, like, in a middle of a second and tear your back line without you ever knowing. So definitely a support line need to look out for one another and keep an eye and ping where these DPS are for yourself and your team.
Yep, 100%. But we'll see what I'm going to get started with right here. As you can see, hanging around, Ignited Memories going to be defending first and foremost. Jace currently playing around on the Roadhog. I think likely is going to swap over something like Sigma or a Diva instead. But right now, they want to troll this just a little bit. I don't blame them.
Oh, the Orisa. Okay, Orisa's not bad. Just able to stay alive. We're on a Kiriko Juno backline. Okay, this is... I've never ever seen this type of lineup on this map before. I'm assuming that you can always change in here. It makes sense. Who is playing as a filler today? Over there. Same with the DPS. So 2 DPS are playing different. Wow. Wow. Crazy first pick there by Wave from Spawn. That's... Wow.
Yeah, that's, if you're Aurora, definitely the way you want to get a fight started. But for Ignited Memories, it's all about just trying to relax here, regroup, and making sure you don't lose anybody else. So you want to be able to kind of hold down and bunker down this area with Jace as Wave gets taken out somehow by Yukino when it comes to one of their turrets. Right now, Luster going to try to escape, doesn't get the hook back in time, so it should stop the pursuit for the time being, as Funky Pants going to be forced out, going to be lucky to survive right here, as Jace unfortunately seems to have pressed a little far, with Jace going down, irrelevant, the door's going to open up here.
Yeah, I mean, they're either going to hold up, or, I mean, Dawes is out of mech too, so... Both tanks are down right now. You just have to hope that, Dawes gets mech back. Oh, they swapped to Sigma. Okay, so this will switch back. So it's just 4-on-4 right now. Whole regroup on both sides. Dawes can try to take out as much space as he can. And Jace is just going to completely ignore Dawes and just go for this Kiriko. And Slim gets the first pick. Wow.
Yeah, that's going to open up the door once again. Ignite Memories just trying to simply hold on right here. So Aurora... trying their darndest to hold on right here as Dawes is going to end up going down. Paw Patrol not too far behind, and Ignited Memories once again are going to take this fight away and clear things out. Going to see if DPS can escape. Looks like both likely will be able to, but so far so good right now. The Sim, somehow working out beautifully here.
Yeah, especially going up against a Sigma, all I think about is the shield. But, you countered the Genji, you'll counter the Sigma, you'll definitely spot out Lucio. So a lot of value from it, even though it may not do a whole much team damage. Oh, OC comes out.
Yep, OC trying to find something. Wow, they're investing really hard in this area, and to be fair, it's working out. Dawes just gets thrown into their death right there. Slim is just kind of going in, kind of clearing out the house, and that's beautiful at the end of the day, but you do use 2 ults to this fight, and now you're going to go into a scenario of a 3-3 ult trade, and to be honest, I don't know which side I feel stronger about right now.
Wall, in my opinion, is only good here against OC and Beat. Rush ain't gonna stop Rush, it's not gonna stop Blade, it's not gonna stop Flux. Well, it might. I don't know entirely. Wall does come out really early, just in the fight, right down the middle. Looking for something. They get a trade, even DPS trade. They do go up 1 though on the side of Ignite Memories. Just pushing.
Yeah, Dawes is gonna be pushed back further. Beat gonna come out online.
Beat Rush comes out. Wow, Rush on the other side comes out. He is low. Dawes is so low. Wave gets one with the blade. He might get 2, might get 3. Is he gonna be able to get 4? He does get the 4-piece. Wow, great display in Blade there by Wave. Team kill, and that might get them to a touch point here, unless they're gonna go for a touch here, which is looking probable. Oh yeah, they're gonna look for it.
Yeah, they're just gonna go for it. I wouldn't hold off on this, but they get booped away, so the touch is not activated. Wow. What?
That is an amazing boop. Lester pulls out OC here though, and they're just gonna clean up, and that is gonna take up so much room and time for Ignite Memories to get back here. Aurora's just going to play close on height. And, I mean, they're just going to try to hold him from taking any of these stairs here. I mean, that's great boot by Paw Patrol, but overall, Ignite Memories, great team kill there. Great team kill by Aurora.
Yeah, ends up being a pretty good fight, all things considered, and now Ignite Memories still... I mean, you gotta feel good about that original defense right there, as Jace playing pretty far up, Wave getting pretty low, all things considered. But for the time being, they're just doing a really good job holding on. I imagine a couple might be ready to let this orbital ray loose, and will do so.
Similar Flux comes out, gets one. Does get one, and it gets traded out. Wow. Wow. Gets 3, gets 4. Oh my god, he's gonna get another one. He's gonna get another one. We're gonna... Wow, and Wave does get the pick, but I mean, both sides just getting the ults out and getting so much value from these DPS ults. I mean, you can't get mad about that. I mean, Wave's gonna come back with Blade here, but you don't have nothing to combo with that on your side unless you wait for Rush. And outside Night Memories, very close thing is Terra Surge and maybe Rush. So it doesn't come down to who can hold the most space the longest here.
Yeah, it's really what it means at the end of the day is, oh yeah, Wave is not playing around anymore. Has a Blade ready to go. Gonna pop it once again, gonna get one, gonna make it 2. Dollars is gonna help get rid of Cobalt right here, and that should...
somebody.
Yeah, that'll essentially...
Yeah,
that'll seal at this point at the end of the day. Jace likely not gonna pull this ultimate, might just try to leave with their life. Unfortunately, that's not gonna happen. So 2.5 minutes left, and at the end of the day, hey, I mean, pretty good time bank, all things considered, going into third point.
Yeah, especially, you know, down the first point, you're less than a minute left. Minute on the clock. So, can't be too bad. And they did great there from first to second point. And, I mean, Dawes is looking to hold up height. Whole team's going to meet up height. So, I think first team fight will be a mix of both. So, I am excited to see where this goes. I'll show you this first pick. Okay, coming out. Good cleanse. Jace taking all that damage. Oh, Lester gets the first pick. Rush comes out. Terra Surge gonna come out. Oh, both Rushes come out actually. Oh,
yeah,
great. Tank out.
It's a 4v4 scenario right now. Wave is taking care of Yukino's, getting rid of a big threat, gonna pull bodies down.
Wow,
Beat gonna barely come out in line here, but Wave is still finishing person after person.
Wow. I mean, great be the right Paw Patrol, just to keep his team alive, and they come away with a team fight. I mean, nothing wrong with that. Even being down your tank and able just to clean house. I mean, and you plus you still have OC on your side. On the other side of things, you have nothing. You have Wall. They don't have OC. They don't have Blade. Terra Surge is coming out shortly. Other side is maybe your wow. Okay, Luster. Luster does not care about this wall. Just gonna keep firing at will.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we have like double DPS ultimates coming in for Aurora, but Wave has gone down, so now it's going to be down to Luster to help break through here. I don't think you can really want to all or nothing this fight unless you really get some serious picks right now, but considering Luster is super low, getting pushed back, Cleanse has already been used on top of that. I mean, this is going to be Aurora's fight going down here at the end of the day. Dallas falling should solidify that. They do manage to get an exit frag, but this is going to come down to final fight territory. Unfortunately, Wave might have to be the hero for this last fight.
Yeah, it'd be Blade Terra Surge versus OC Orbital. I mean, if Cobalt can play this right with Slim, they could easily team wipe. They just have to look for squishes first, and he cannot be the first one dead. Cobalt cannot be the first one out here. So I see both shields come out. No shield. Orbital early. Run Terra Surge. Blade gets one. Okay,
yeah,
trade. One.
Yeah, it's
two.
Still going back and forth. Though Wave has gotten rid of 2. They're clearing away, and Jason has to die on the point. And unfortunately, with 3 bodies on that point,
no
it's
one's
down.
gonna touch.
Slim definitely could potentially get a touch here, but I don't know if it would go much beyond that. They're gonna go. Unfortunately, yeah, just gonna be just short. But they do finish the map here, which means if Ignite finishes, no matter what time it is, they're guaranteed another attack round. But obviously, if you're Aurora, I mean, you don't want to give Ignite the opportunity to finish the map.
No, definitely don't give that. But I mean, good first point hold. Second area was not the best. Third point was great. It just does suck though that OC and Orbital did not help clean up the whole team. I mean, Wave's just nasty on that Genji. I for sure do think next map, Ignite's looking for a Genji ban here.
Yeah, 100%. So, obviously, it seems to be working out pretty well so far. I mean, the stats were looking really nice as well. But I'm curious to see if Ignite Memories want to change anything up going into this one, because Aurora seems to be sticking around relatively the same with what they were running previously. Luster going to be doing the defense Widowmaker in this situation, which, I mean, can still work out pretty well if you're hitting those shots. But Yukino might be interested in taking the duel back.
Yeah. I mean, Luster here, it just comes down to this first Widow pick. I think Luster, of course, will have the advantage here in his first pick. If Yukino can get somebody out, I mean, that is huge for them. Cobalt, I mean, Alari's Zen is not bad. Cobalt has to be careful with where this turret gets placed. That turret goes down, it might be a team wipe.
Yeah, but we'll just see what ends up going down in the scenarios. Yukino going to just simply go for the one shot and make the swap probably over to, well, Sombra would not have been the first guess here, but to be fair, if you catch a Dolls in a bad situation and hack them out, it could have pretty entertaining results.
Yeah. See Leslie there trying to get some going. I mean, Yukino just trying to play around this Brig, trying to get somebody out of position here. But they're playing really close. I mean, if Slim can play it, Luster gets the first pick on Cobalt, that is... Oh, there's a trade back, okay. So it's even. Oh, he's gonna get one. Wow, that Immort's big save there by Paw Patrol for himself.
Yeah, it is pretty massive at the end of the day, and now you gotta worry about being able to keep up Dawes in this scenario, because obviously Dawes getting hacked out is going to be extremely dangerous as they're simply getting pushed back further and further. Dawes is literally in the worst case possible, does get Surly on the way out, but the problem is, I would much rather lose one of my supports than my tank.
Yeah. I mean, Wave, ooh, Slim does get that on Wave. Wave almost had him there. But I mean, Yukino can get somebody going here early and just kind of keep him pushed back. No, Emor comes out really early. That's great. Great cooldown wasted there for Ignite Memories. Big hack. Rock comes out early. Wow, great first pick. Ooh, okay.
Yeah, they're doing really good at... They're keeping bodies on the point, which is really nice, but they're eventually just going to get pushed off here. They just have squishies left. No DOS here. I mean, this fight is just almost unwinnable. I mean, Jace could also just double down with the ult here if they really wanted to, and in fact, I mean, they're going to do it. Paw Patrol's taken care of.
Wave's still cleaning up, though. Wave's still cleaning up. I mean...
Yeah, now Dawes is back over on the Orisa now, so now they're going to push them out. At the end of the day, they might have actually done this. If Jace goes down, they 100% have. There's no way that Aurora managed to pull that one off.
I mean, Funky Pants and Wave just cleaned out, just held it down, and no one really cared for it. No one was looking at the same target, and they just got away with it. I mean, Ignite Memories there, my first person I'm going for is that Brig. Is the Brig and the Bat. They got the Bat, and then they just did not catch that Brig out of position. Which is great there for Funky Pants. EP's close to being out. Looked like she wanted to use, looked like Yukino wanted to use it, but did not get out. Just Ajaxed it. Okay, Big Immort.
Yeah.
Rush.
I mean, Wave isn't popping with the blades throughout the entirety of the map so far. But Dawes going down means that it does open up a little bit again. We get back to the 3v3. We go for the EMP, and
that's crazy.
You're basically soloing Wave, at the end of the day. But
that's crazy. No, what's funny? Probably no shame either. They probably planned that too. That's probably just, they chose to do that. Not even an accident. No shame. So going in here, I mean, they have 3 minutes on the clock, so you could have had more, but Wave held it down. I mean, they did pretty good, but now they have height control. So Ignite Memories will be on the back foot here. And they're going to play up. I don't know if Yukino is going to be able to get a pick here with them just playing next to each other. Oh, but I just drag him in. Dawes is just getting lit up. Hey, we'll just go up. Just gonna push high and just keep moving. Luster does get the first pick though on the DPS.
Yeah, they're pushing them pretty hard right now. Slim is just in a bit of an unfortunate spot right now. Jace is gonna get burnt away, so that push is gonna stop right then and there. Which it being that close means Aurora is gonna have a beautiful opportunity to set up a close hold. I mean, essentially, however they like.
I'm going to this. I mean, you have Window, you have OC. On the side, it's it's OC and Terra Surge. If possible, Slim should be able to get 1 or 2. Should at least. With Window here, should be able to help pick him off. Window comes out really early. Emor comes out.
Ooh, that's a
Breaks
bad
it.
area.
Cobalt gets out. Knocks 1 down. He's going to chase.
I don't know about that chase.
Oh, that is not good.
That's a
Wow.
bad idea at the end of the day. I mean, this is still Aurora's fight for the time being, but, I mean, Dawes being gone and Jace can be able to get back away quicker means they could regroup and get a good push here.
Yeah. I mean, they can pull out Deflector from Wave. Yeah, there it is. OC could come out and just wreak havoc. So, ready to see if something comes off here. Wow, Wave is still alive. That's crazy. Big, huge deflex there. I know Slim is itching to use OC right now.
Yeah, but either way, performance online as Wave again wants to make a blade happen. It's not getting as much like this time around, but it is pushing them back further as Slim wants to be able to move in, find something with the overclock. I mean, just getting shots here and there, but nobody being finished off. I mean, this is a heavy ult investment here already, and if you're Aurora, you might want to, eventually use Lesser Salt, but for the time being, they've just pushed them back.
And I mean, one of this 2 in the tank versus 0. I mean, Rally come out here and just clean out. Wow, big shield bash there, and yeah, it's gonna run him out again. I think Ignite has to take a different route because they keep going up and they just can't make it past the first door. I think Sim needs to keep their TP and just TP top to point off the rip, not flank up the point, but just go up straight to point.
Yep, and you can see Wave hanging around, waiting for an opportunity. Gonna hack and slash through. Doesn't quite get the finish, but Immo does get taken out. As Yukino gone means you are looking for a couple stagger picks here. You get it unnecessarily. You're gonna try to get one more, but nope. You just have to kind of play a little bit safe back out because you have 3 amazing ultimates going through fight.
Oh, Jace, you have 10 seconds. What are you doing? Oh no, he's just in a horrible area.
99%. That's unfortunate, and now you just gotta throw everything at the wall right now and hope it's gonna stick, but you're literally just gonna hold this ultimate all the way. Dodge finish off 2K, and that's gonna clean up Aurora. Gonna be starting out pretty strong here, taking the first map. I mean, it was kind of slow burning at first, but I mean, once they got the ball rolling, it got really hard to stop people like Wave and Dawes that were just constantly being a pester to this Ignite squad.
Yeah, I mean, not the best time management there by Ignite, but I do think Wave was man of the match for this match. I mean, you had a 3-piece, you had like 2 3-pieces of blade, you had a 4-piece. You managed to keep point held with your Brig alone on a 2v4 situation, and then you may use blade at the end, but like they didn't push you; they stayed at bay. I do think their Wave is going to be the biggest threat for Ignite, so I'm not surprised if I see either a Genji target man here. 'Cause that's really your biggest threat if you're Ignite. He's just in your back line. You had Sim, you had Mei, you had Sombra, and it did not matter. You can only, as Sombra, you only got the pick with EMP. That does tell you how dangerous Wave is. I don't know what else could be.
Yeah, I'm just curious what the response really will be at this point, because obviously we'll get to more detail on our second map as we get there, but when you're going to a lot of control points, I mean, Brawl ends up being more of the name of the game, and that means the Orisa is another character that's still going to be very relevant. Genji is still going to be very relevant. You can run that Sojourn. That same comp could be ran on this map. So at the end of the day, it is going to be the question for Ignite Memories as to what you want to get rid of and what you're thinking was most debilitating in that scenario, which if they were to do the Genji, I wouldn't blame them in the slightest in that situation right there. But I think Dawes was also doing a lot over on the Orisa. So I do think you have a couple of good choices here. It's just a question of which one you want to go, because whatever you go for, the other roles can be open up to a ban of its own, and you could get rid of Yukino's, like the Symmetra wouldn't be viable anymore, because they did get a fair amount of success on that character.
Yes, yeah, I agree. I mean, go to this, of course, we're ready to see these roster changes, if there are any roster changes. It has been happening common this past week that a lot of teams are just sticking to the same 5 because someone can't make it. blah, blah. You know what I mean? So I want to see if there's any changes, whatever. And of course, Aurora gets first base. I did lose it, and I'm excited to see. I do think, of course, they're going to Genji. This makes no sense. But I do want to see Aurora, because, I mean, other side of things, Soldier's your worst? Yep, there it is. That was plain as day. I mean, so Aurora could just do another, like, you know, throw in, like, the trash pick. I want to say Life Heroes are throwing the trash pick, but, like, you know, one, it's not really going to matter or affect them. But who do you think Aurora should go after here? If they're looking for a specific ban.
Honestly, it is a little questionable here because I would have probably said something like the Symmetra before for Aurora, but obviously that's not quite available. You could get rid of something that could potentially counter out the Orisa, like you could get rid of like the Zarya or the Ramatra, just to kind of take away choices from the tank. If you wanted to make things more uncomfortable, if you wanted to play specifically a Juno Brick style, you could ban out the Kiriko or the Lucio or vice versa. I think there's definitely quite a few choices here. A lot of choices that honestly aren't incorrect, but for Aurora, I think it's just going to come down to comfortably, what is the one thing that we think could stop the comp we have coming against the squad?
Yeah. I mean, of course, it's on Nepal. It's the next map, so definitely control point. You're probably going to run a Lucio Kiri or Lucio BAP build or a support backline. So maybe, I mean, both teams run the BAP. I mean, oh, okay.
Ooh, I like it.
Different. I do like it. I do like it.
I mean, this is just getting rid of one of Orisa's counters, which means I think Aurora is still 100% intending to run the Orisa still. It makes complete sense. It means that now, if you're Ignition Memories, you're not going to have the easiest time running back into it if your attempt is to counter out the Orisa. You still have things like the Ramatra, or even, I think in some cases, even like the Diva or Hazard in some areas. But getting rid of the Zarya, I think, is probably one of the best choices you could have made in this situation. So obviously hope it works out for them, because if not, you go into that third map, Orisa might be a little more easy to deal with, so I imagine Aurora just wants to get this done in quick 2-0 fashion.
So I do gotta realize Jace is a main Zarya player. So that is why they picked them to go after them, to just ruin Ignite Memories. On the other side of things, with the roster changes, Wave is staying in. Wave is not being subbed out, which is crazy. I thought for sure that you had to take their main out. Maybe they swap him out. Nope, he's just gonna stay in. So we're gonna see what he goes different. I'm not saying it's gonna be worse in skill, but it definitely is going to harm a little bit on your side of things. So we're gonna see what happens. And then Perseus is coming for Luster on the Aurora side. In memories, not entirely sure. As we did say, they do have a ringer or two, unless they just changed their names. But they have 2 ringers, so maybe not much of a change over there. But I do lie. He is a one trick. I know the files. He has 9 hours in Genji this season. Next is Cass with 3, and Soj with 2. The next is Widow with 49 minutes. So he'll probably play Cass into this, which is not bad. But Ignite should have a better chance to just ignore the DPS as a whole.
Right. Yeah, I think you're pretty right in that regard here. So it will also matter to some degree what sub point you get on Nepal. I think this is one of the maps where it means less to what sub point you get compared to some other maps like Lijiang Tower, like Busan. Nepal, you can universally run a lot of the same stuff on all 3 sub points. So I can't imagine at the very least that Aurora is going to really try to swap off of any of their stuff. Maybe a couple variants in the DPS at most. But, I mean, irrelevant. We're just going to have to get into the action here momentarily, see what's going to be coming our way. Because for Ignite, I mean, you don't want it to have to be a difficult one. You don't want to have to go home in 0-2 fashion, as I'm curious to see how they're going to respond now with the Zarya not being in place.
Yeah, no Zarya in place. Of course, Aurora's just going to run, Never mind. I lied. I'm not gonna see the roster layout, guys.
We're gaslighting you guys. Sorry.
Yeah, everything you just seen, that's all fake. It's all dream. Wake up. You have school tomorrow. You are now back in 5th grade. Wake up. But no, as you did see, Daz is gonna play the rest of this. I assume other side that Jace, if he's still in, will also play. Probably the not Zar band Orisa to this. But I do want to see this backline lineup. That's the only thing I want to see. Because with Wave beating out with Genji, their backline, their support should live longer. But I am ready for this backline. But we're having, I think, someone might have had an issue. So
yeah, it wouldn't. You know, these things happen, but it looks like we might have things solved away. A Shrine seems to be our first pick going to this one, which, to be fair, I like this one. I think it's very basic. It's very simple. This is where you can really go in on these rush style compositions. You don't have to worry too much about high grounds like you would about Village. You don't have to worry about falling off or being booped around the map if you sit on point, like we go to Sanctum. So here, having Yukino over on the Ignite Memories is just going to try to run it down here and make it as difficult as possible for Aurora to do their thing, unless Yukino swaps, which it turns out
they both will. Ooh, okay. Our Reaper. Then we have a Tracer. Wave on Tracer. Excited to see that. Percy is probably just gonna hold close. Slide or Slim is way out of the side there. Has Bird with him. Oh, Wave gonna get the first pick here. And Wave. Oh, I care. What's Wave's pick? Wave gets the first pick on being not his character. Kind of crazy, but I mean they're up one. It's now even. I'm excited to see if they can clean up. Dawes gets the cleanup here. I mean, we're up. Ooh, they do get Wave though. So no. Okay.
Whoa. Well, we have
something just happened, guys.
Yes,
I think Aurora wins the fight.
Yeah, we don't see the game currently, but doesn't matter because Aurora did indeed win the fight. So you know, I had to do some expert analysis there for a moment. But either way, we can set it for the next fight. And it looks like they're trying to go to the inside right now.
Yeah, trying to go up through mid, not main. Trying to take them, flip point here. I mean, Wave's is going to be annoying on this side here. So excited to see what Wave can do. Jace is just walking in, trying to make some space for his team. Trying to play, protecting his backline, but he can do so much damage here against Orisa. Really focused on him.
Yeah, and Dawes is going to go in, not going to get a ton, but actually just getting Cobalt is... I mean, that's massive. I mean, Cobalt's just like massively behind now in alt charge. Slim does manage to get one, but is going to get stuck and finished away. And at the end of the day, even if they get a couple of picks, I mean, Yukino, I would say would be lucky to get out of this alive unless they get a little support, as Yukino is not going to get out alive.
Big stagger. I mean, with that, that'll give we're at least an extra 10 to 15% charge. So this will come down to this last team fight here. Ignite has to make this quick and clean. There cannot be too much staggering. There can't be much stalling. You have to get in and get out and get that point as fast as you can. But it looks like it's going to go maybe to the OT timer. I mean, you're already at 90% and no one is contesting point yet. OC comes out for Ignite. Yep. Rush, bomb. Bomb gets Aiden though. Okay.
Yeah, that's down. Not great. And Aurora is slowly getting pushed back further, but now you have an opportunity right here to Ignite to kind of push this around, but you have to be careful right now, because obviously you're waiting for people to get back into this fight. Paw Patrol could come and collect with the beat, and that's why you're going to see Aurora literally just back up for a moment,
going with
the beat afterwards, and Yukino ends up getting rid of one. Yeah, and they're going to double down here. I mean, you kind of have to at the end of the day. You cannot lose this fight, and now, for the most part, a lot of ults on the side of Ignite Memories are going to take a reset, but for Aurora, they've got some really strong ones around the corner. I
mean, you're going to have Bullet Shot, you're going to have Terra Surge. On this side, you'll maybe have... And, I mean, if Cobalt can get it locked down, could get beat here quick. Just has to hit his shots from a distance. Just keep spraying that weapon down main. Get some ult charge. Keep it on heal. You'll get something going. But Cobalt just needs to live here. I mean, so really he's about to have Rush... Rest of things, Bullet Shot coming out. But they're definitely going to time it here with Terra Surge. There's no way they don't. Some Wave I see all the way in the corner trying to get something going, trying to look away. Wow. Rush comes out early. Okay, Okay.
Yeah. I mean, do you just
I
want
just pushed my point.
Yeah. God, they're really doubling
Force
down
Rockets
here. I'm trying to find something here, but unfortunately, Aurora is not going to lot. I mean, this is, and unfortunately, they're just going to have
my God,
to try to flip back
he's
up.
gonna do a big javelin there. He could not get back up and put their feet on the floor. There comes out recall. No, I mean, I think it's just Wave's just gonna try to, needs to get out. Oh, he needs to get out. Lucio needs to get out. Paw Patrol's 1. Wow. Wave dies. Paw Patrol is going to escape cleanly. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, 9-0 to, another last fight. I mean, but Aurora does have the advantage here. I mean, they have beat, they have Terra Surge on this side, but Rush could go insane if they do not die first. Rush comes out, okay, Terra Surge. Cleanse will probably come out. No cleanse. Cobalt gets first. Wow. Beat comes out. 1-2.
It's just cooked. It is done like a
big
dinner.
Wow. Big flip there from Ignite. Just able to come back from 9-0 just to not let them contest once.
Yeah, it's a really good job pulling that one back to where Aurora, I mean, for a time was set up in 100-0 territory, essentially, but just not able to really pull it out here. And I mean, look at the stats. I mean, Jace and Dawes both doing an unbelievable amount for their team, leading damage on their teams, and especially Dawes way ahead in that category. But obviously, in this situation, you're really trying to cut down on the deaths if you're losing your backline a lot of the time. On top of it, or more so, I should say, your DPS line a lot of the time. So you're losing out on a lot of that major damage that would really be benefiting you in these long-term fights.
Yep. It looks like Yukino's not swapping off the Sim here. Okay. So you got TP and the whole team is there. Everyone's there. Split, right? Wave and Paul trying for something here on this Kiriko. TP does come out. No recall. I mean, just play containment game. They'll get something going. I want to see a Boop here. I want to see a Boop kill here by Paul.
It would be, it'd be pretty funny at the end of the day. But if it did happen, I'd be really sad. As I think that might have just happened.
I think Dawes just pushed him off.
I think Dawes might have happened. I mean, and I don't know. I don't know if Knock knows the results of how that happened or what it was. But at the end of the day, the situation is clear. Aurora taking the first fight win.
That's crazy. Slash shrug. That's wow. Do a little MJ shrug on him. I mean, coming in, they have to come through main. Their home point, Aurora already has no source on the clock. So really, for no memories, is closest to Rush. They might have wall. Dawes though is already 20 away from Terra Surge. I mean, if you're Dawes here, just keep the pressure going. You'll get someone going. Oh, and
yeah, right. We're going back to that.
So there is fighting. There is fighting happening.
Fighting has definitely started, ladies and gentlemen. You could probably see it, but we can't. But we do know for a fact right now that they're trying to go, and I imagine with some ultimates this fight, because you want to be able to push into this as hard as.
I think. Stream is. Aha.
Yeah, we might just be having issues in.
We're back. Okay, Slime gets a great OC kill. Gets 2. Oh my god. Oh my god. They did flip point there that plan for a total of 8%, but they did flip it. Dawes used Terra Surge at some point. Heinen came out, and Wall came out. So we didn't miss too much. It looks like Ignite had advantage there and won it. So, I mean, you have Terra Surge, you got Rush, you gotta have Orbital. Other side, you have Bomb, Rush, Beat. So Beat might go insane against this Rush here, or not Rush, Orbital. They can just hold big flashbang there by Cass. Wave is gonna back cap. Is Wave about to back cap?
Yeah, trying to,
Wave
and right
is going
now
to back cap.
it's gonna happen.
Wave
and
just
now-
back cap. Okay.
Yeah, and they're gonna be able to rack up a little extra percentage, and more importantly, I mean, stop Ignite from getting an extra couple. I mean, you're gonna get it down to at least like 86% right here. This is amazing stall because for the fact that you've got it all the way to the 90% mark, and the Wave is gonna get out of here alive. I mean,
crazy.
that's literally best case
Oh.
scenarios. They're getting bullied back. It's down to the 4v4. Jace is thinking about having to. Yeah, they might think about investing. There's a lot of bodies sitting by, but they like to don't have to.
Have to, okay. Well, if Wave wasn't there, it probably would have been 70% now to 90. Probably been close next fight. But thanks to Wave and managed to back cap with no pressure at all, it might be a two team fight map or final map. I see. I mean, Terra Surge. Oh, they're looking to use it. Is Wave gonna do it again? Oh my God, Wave's gonna do it again. Wave's just gonna sit here.
No, this
Oh my God.
time, little contention this time around, and I like it. It's trading back and forth,
Trade.
and they have the TP out, and they are not going to get it, and Dawes is finishing people off. Dawes gets another.
Oh God, Wave
and
did
now-
get it. Wave did get
Yeah.
the back cap.
Yeah, and now poor Jace is just going to have to die on this point, and there is no help, I mean, anywhere close, unfortunately. So that's going to be that second round locked and loaded, as they're going to try to make it. It's just not going to happen.
That is insane. Okay. Not gonna lie, not what I thought was gonna happen. I mean, good play there by Aurora, mainly by Wave. But I mean, the Wave to just be uncontested twice in a row is not a good look for Ignite over there. Some pause, maybe take issue, maybe someone DC'd. Maybe our side of things. Alright, so some pause is happening, but going to this 1-1, this is match point right now. So Ignite Memory has to play to perfection here. Aurora also needs to play perfection, but they can get away with some missteps. Or Ignite cannot make any mistakes, cannot even breathe wrong. I mean, Aurora has this clinched, in my opinion. I think if Ignite falls out of position, wrong target priority, anything, I mean, Aurora should just be able to seize that and take advantage of it.
Yeah, this round 3 obviously going to be extremely important. You want to be able to close this out if you are Aurora, as obviously this is their pause. We're going to figure out whatever issues there might be. But a lot of this comes from those couple of back caps that we ended up receiving, because before, it probably would have been a little bit closer had that first one not gone through, and the second one going through, it's what's most insane of all, because Dawes was able to finish people off, and the fact that you were able to flip over the point earlier meant that you didn't really have an opportunity to regroup, if you're Ignite. So ends up working out beautifully. But for this third point right here, I mean, the high ground is going to be a lot more in the play because the point is so low in comparison, so there's a lot of different paths they are able to explore in a map like this that I feel like isn't quite available on a map like Sanctum. Yeah.
I mean, I assume they're going to play main towards the main draw on the far right. If Wave plays how Trace players I go up against all the time, is you just go even more right, go underneath that bridge, and you have the fling from behind. I think if Wave plays it right, you should be able to get someone or multiple people to turn around and try to get him. With that being, Jace has to, or not Jace, Dawes has to take advantage of that and just push forward with team and just hold these guys like together and just corner them. I was on the wrong map. Why was I thinking the wrong map? I don't know why. I was thinking Basan for some reason. I don't, just ignore what I just said. Getting to this, we're back. I mean, probably gonna Wave, gonna TP up forward. I assume Yukino will do the same thing. Maybe not. Might just play, anti whatever.
Yeah. Gonna be coming down to this one. We're gonna be able to TP them out, trying to just get a little bit of an earlier advantage for touching. Both teams though are going high. Obviously,
no, Jace can go low. They're gonna go low. Wow.
You kind of have to right now. It's gonna be really hard to push that high ground elsewise. So they just simply have to go and force the point. And to be fair, the fact they have the May, I mean, that might have just been fine from the get go.
Cobalt was almost down there. I mean, Slim looking for something here. On the flank. Gets one, gets a Paw Patrol. First good pick. No recall on Tracer for Wave. He's doing this job. I mean, wow, Jace gets the first pick on another toss. Up 5-4. Okay. They do take point first. And with that, I think they're just going to back out and regroup. Yep. That gives Slim just enough time to get back and regroup with his team and hold height. No speed. I mean, Jace might just be a sin duck here. If Dawson them can just speed in here, yep. Yeah, they're just
gonna speed it in. Wall has already been expended, so now it's gonna be really awkward because Yukino might be forced into that form pretty early, but Wave has already gone down, and now Dawes, I mean, you saw it immediately, they backed out. The moment they lost Wave, they realized we're not gonna be able to stay in this fight, so you just take the quick reset instead of the slow burn.
Yeah, and I mean, with that, it's gonna go another at least another like 10% on, you know, just charge for they even come back to QG. I mean, you have OC in the tank. You're close to Terra Surge. OC just come out. Looking for somebody. They're just not going to push. They're going to hold the corner. Wave might be the first one out. Again.
Yeah, I mean, just a
like
little
that Trace, I think.
Yeah, that's and just Slim just wanted to punish it at the end of the day. And now Aurora, I mean, Baxter just really against the wall here because now they're going to have to deal with Ignite Memories coming up with 3 different ultimates on this fight. Aurora is coming out to some really good ones as well. But it might be just a question of who gets it quicker and who's willing to be more aggressive with it.
Yeah. I think Orbital here, a little crazy, especially just the entry point. If you can just get it, you can use the right, like... Okay, Terra Surge comes out from Aurora's side, gets one, DPS trade. Wait for shot again. Big... He's not getting nobody there.
Oh, that's going to be big. That manages to save them right there as they're going to try to push really heavily, but the heals are being used so beautifully. It's a rough scenario, but Slim going to get forced into the corner. Full support's alive means it's going to be really difficult for Aurora unless they manage to finish one of them off. But double support ultimates. They want to end this right here now. Speed and rush.
Wow, both sides just playing for it. How is he still? How is he really still alive? Well, they got 990. Wow, I mean...
Yep, and yeah, but now it's going to be a journey because while they're going to have the ult advantage here, in like 2 fights, Ignite Memory could just stack ults and just try to run it down straight up.
Yeah, I mean, you probably have Bullet Shot, you're going to have Tectonic, you're close to Terra Surge again by Dawes' side of things. But Slim can get OC out and just look at the squish. Never mind, Slim is actually down. I'm going to retract what I just said. Does not matter. Still matters, of course, but when they come in as a team, they need to look for a squish. I think they were that Kiriko first, and that gives the cleanse, that gives the like escapability, gives your big healing point. But they just gotta play team, again, good comms, good target priority, look for the same person. I'm just gonna catch them out. Slim is not gonna get away here.
Slim is, I mean, should realistically get, I was gonna say realistically should get away, but doesn't, and no one turns to help, so now, I mean, Wave is going to use his ult too, and that's 2 ults from Aurora right here, which I think is...
Yeah.
I really think it's more than he needs to use, because what I said earlier about Ignite Memories, I mean, I was going to say should be coming to truth, but Yukino and Jace are actually much further behind than I thought they'd be.
Yeah, especially, you know, Jace didn't use Terra Surge much long after Doss used his first one, and Doss has used his second one and is already at almost 20%. Within that use, within a team fight. She goes up first. OC comes out. Just gotta keep up. He is so gets a great squish pick. I mean, now you have just the ability to move forward. And I mean, if you're Jace or Yukino, Yukino needs to get something going here. Just not be caught out and gets wow. Dies with Tectonic.
Yeah, but now you gotta about touches though. Dawes has to go and touch the point. Is eventually gonna be able to do so. Wave is finishing them up now. And I mean, I'm sorry, this might just be over, ladies and gentlemen. Bolo shot ends up being used. It's gonna get nothing, but Jace is alone in no man's land. Doesn't get the Terra Surge in time. Point is gonna flip over, and now the worry is the touch.
I'm surprised they didn't swap to a Lucio pick here. Just a speed. You can know up with this. I mean, Slim's gonna try to get a touch here. He does. No recall.
Yeah, but
he's not gonna get a second touch. I mean, yeah, get a second touch. Does die? I mean, no one else.
It's just a slow burn, yeah.
Yeah.
Freeze is used. It's not going to catch on to anybody, though. And Jace has to come back and hit the miracle Terra Surge essentially.
And Paul has beat, so even if he does, I don't think it's going to go. And they just do not touch point.
Yeah,
wow.
and
Aurora gets their Aurora gets their first sweep of the season. Like we said earlier, every game has been 2-1, 1-2, 2-1, 2-1. That's their first sweep. And with that happening, I mean, that puts them up the first, because now they don't go down in the map. They go up, but for the other side of things, Emery's might drop a lot, which is not good. I do say though, my MVP is going to be Wave. That's my MVP, especially having the first map being insane with the Blades and Cuban teams at bay. The second map playing not his one-trick character and still managing to do something with it is insane. Still being a threat overall.
Yeah, I would definitely agree in that scenario. It's really hard not to go down that route. But at the end of the day, I mean, when you're just that impressive running the DPS, it's really hard to deal with. I mean, when someone just kind of gets in the zone like that, and from the start, Wave was in the zone with that Genji, especially. So at the end of the day, yeah. I mean, I talked earlier that Aurora had yet to get a clean 2-0 sweep. Well, I've eaten my words. It has happened here today, ladies and gentlemen. That moves them up to, I believe, 4-1 now in this situation. As we'll kind of look at the updated standings.
Wow,
yeah, Aurora 4-1 and Ignite now down at 6th place at 2-3.
I mean, even if Daybreak wins their match, I mean, they have to sweep just to stay up top. I mean, map differential still put them up no matter what. They go up 2-1 because it was up, but I think Aurora has a really great competition of just saying, "Hey, we're here for a reason. We finally got our first sweep. We don't play around." And I mean, Ignite only drop one spot, but it puts them down -1 in the map differential. So they have to hope these next teams that are above them drop. Hopefully, they want, of course, School Rush to drop. They want to get up a map, or at least able to bump up another spot to 5th. But, I mean, it's even everywhere. Top 2 are even. 3 and 4 are even. 5 and 6 are even. I mean, 7 and 8 isn't as even as it should be, but anything can still happen. There's still plenty of time left to get something going.
Yeah, it's obviously not over quite yet. You still have definitely a few games to be able to bounce back, to make something happen. But obviously that's something that we're going to find out a little later down the line. Obviously you want to be able to have the opportunity to bounce back next week. I'm curious who their next opponent is next week, but I don't think we know the answer to that question yet.
No.
Yeah, we will not know that.
Up next on B Stream, casted by us again, will be Woop Troop versus Polaris. Now, I have watched Polaris. Polaris. I'm not going to say it again because I'm messing up. Woop Troop I have not seen play once. They have played, I haven't tuned in, or I just haven't been notified about it. So, I'm excited to see this, of course. We have my basically sister team, Corrupted Guys, playing, as well as Terrapin also playing. Excited. Hopefully they win. That way, tomorrow when we play, we get a 3-0 sweep for our little 3-man team we got. So excited for that.
Yeah, little skeleton squad doing what we can in this situation. But had entertaining enough of a game for a 2-0 to get things going. Obviously hoping for a very interesting one when it comes to Woop Troop and Polaris. But with that being the case, Relevant, obviously we will likely take a few minutes here momentarily to get everything sorted out, get these teams in the lobby, get everything set up for this next matchup. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and cut that quick break. But in a few minutes, we're going to come back with this next matchup right here. So English. Stick around, right? Because it's sure to be a good one. See y'all soon.
See ya.
fence when I
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, with the second and final match of our night here over on the B stream. We just had Aurora taking a 2-0 victory over Ignite Memories, and now we're moving up to the A division here. We got Woop Troop and Polaris going up against each other. It's another story of a 2-2 versus a 3-1 team. So a lot of the stakes we had before very much still alive, still active in this situation. I mean, at this point, irrelevant. I mean, we're carrying that same narrative over. So for Polaris, this is a big opportunity for them to solidify their spot in the upper echelon of this division.
Yeah, and I mean, going to this course, I mean, it's definitely different size things. Polaris has been swept once, had 3 sweeps back to back. Rest side things, 2 sweeps back to back, swept, and then 1-2 loss. So going to this, Polaris wants to keep the 3-0 win streak, wants to keep this going alive. I mean, if they do, that's great. But on the other side of things, with Woop Troop, they took a map from Primal Pineapples, who are on top right now. So that shows you that even though they may be tied 4th with Map Virtual and however much, they are still showing like, hey, we can compete with these guys. We're not one to be messed around with. We still have the skill as a team, as a cohesive unit, to do something against you. Like you said, it's big on both sides. If Polaris wins this, they go up, and they take that first spot for Primal Pineapples. Even though Primal still has to play, Polaris will hold the 1 spot till then. If Woop Troop wins, this should put them up to 3rd. Of course, Flex Fire will be 3-1. Polaris will be 3-2 at the time. But it should elevate them up to be 3rd. Polaris will stay 2nd. And I mean, it just comes down to who wants it more. Who's more willing to put everything on the line here as a team, take whatever risk is necessary to get this in their bag.
Yeah, 100%. And you kind of see the different journey these teams have had. Polaris getting swept in their very first match, but since then have been sweeping teams back to back to back. For Woop Troop, it's been a bit of a different journey, a really good start, but has unfortunately kind of fallen off with these last couple of matches. But at the end of the day, that's why the two sides of the story are very different. Polaris has a good streak of momentum. For Woop Troop, they're trying to break the bad streak. So for Woop Troop, this really is a game they need to be able to kind of pull things back. But Polaris, I mean, they could be just setting themselves up in such a beautiful spot if you could just take the momentum and just keep running with it every single weekend.
Yeah. And I mean, of course, we see, what was I looking at? I lost my train of thought. I was looking at the roster, and I completely lost where I was. There we go. I mean, with these rosters coming in, I'm excited to see. Of course, I've seen Polaris play. Woop Troop is entirely brand new to me when it comes to just a team in general. So, I mean, they're a little bit everywhere. They have 2 DPS, 2 tanks, 3 support, which is a very balanced team. Friday and Cam can play anything. Tyler and Mac Truck can play separate. Mac Truck can also play support. Tyler can also play DPS. Everyone else, though, is Toxic Memory and Dima are stuck and are solidified as this is my role that I'm going to play no matter what. I am excited, though, going to this because the first map is Route 66. So, it'll be a dive map. I will not be surprised if there's Winston and Hazard, both ends. DPS will be maybe Genji Soj, maybe Genji Tracer, maybe Soj Tracer. Of course, go for bans, but I'm excited for that. And the other side of things for Polaris, they are a little bit more, this is what we are no matter what. You see 3 DPS, a tank, 3 supports. Alibi can play support and DPS. Greetings can play tank and DPS. Everybody else is stuck with that. Seed and Clooney, DPS. Zim, Cry, and Ghost are all support. Now, I've seen these guys play. Clooney is going to be a big issue on your back line. Greetings is not letting you take space, and Ghost is just going to be running around your head circles. So, Polaris has the idea of if you have no target to really look at and focus on, they're going to beat you every time. So that's Woop Troop's main thing they look out for is who they're looking at as a team or whoever's with who is just not getting distracted as much by them just running around your head.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be the case in a situation like this. As obviously, it's extremely interesting when you have rosters like this. Again, I talk about what it means to have one player that is very primarily the tank player. They got to have a certain level of flexibility. That you don't really have to have as often, when you're talking about having a two tank lineup, where you can have someone who kind of goes into the specialist of dive and another that is really prominent on brawl. That's what we've seen a lot of teams kind of go around. Even my own situation is the exact same. So Greetings obviously going to have to do a lot in that department. But I mean, you've already said to yourself the maps that we have going on for today, with that being Route 66. But before we get that properly figured out, we got to know what specifically the bans are for today. But we do know them pretty much right out the gate. I mean, Woop Troop going to ban out Genji, Polaris going to get out Winston, which, I mean, all things considered, I mean, both pretty heavily targeted in the dive department.
Yeah, of course, the alternative will be maybe a Surge Tracer, and then maybe for tank will be Hazard Mirror. Maybe. I mean, of course, you want to get height. This thing has this. Route 66 has a lot of height. The third point, though, could be Armatra, could be Orisa, would be your best two, because it's such a small contained area. Maybe Sigma, maybe, if you can get a team to work with that. Those would be your main two. You'll go for a third point. First point, though, you need to take height. You need to take space. Like, if you're on offense first, you need to take gas station as best you can for the other team and contain that for yourself. If you're on defense first, you need to hold that checkpoint and make sure your gas station is your final stand. That cannot be taken from you. You have to keep them off that, and you need to keep pushing around that corner. The moment you come in that first corner, it could make or break. Your team either has to win that team fight, or you better have some ults ready to go to keep that for yourself.
Yeah, that's really what has to happen in a situation like this. But obviously, we're going to have to see what goes around on a map like this, because obviously getting into Route 66, dive really is the most prominent one, but realistically, you said it yourself, when you get to that third point, you can play the stuff like that Ramatra, like that Orisa, and really just go to an all-out brawl instead, while having some poke elements like a Sojourn or Cassidy or Freya in the back. But I think the most brutal part can sometimes be getting past this first point right here. Some teams do it pretty effectively, but the amount of times that we have seen teams try to push that gas station and fail time after time after time, it's really telling that if you have the right defensive setup, if you know what's going to be running into you, that you could just do a lot with that. I mean, you're not going to know until you get out there, unfortunately.
Yeah. And, I mean, this map will definitely set a tone if they go to a third party to Bonnie. Bonnie it's a little bit similar. Its first point is we have some points you want to hold as a team. One would be your cornerstones. Can't lose it. Second time round is just going to be long distance, a lot of space. You need to hold your own and not let someone gain. Third point is going to be tighter, and you're just going to have to play brawl and just hope, go blow for blow. I think it's very similar. So if it goes to game 3, this will set the tone of how the match point will go. Okay, so we're running Ash Tracer versus Tracer Widow. Okay, not surprised. Really? But we do have the Hazard Mirror, so hasn't too bad. Bap Lucio on defense, Ana Brig, again, not horrible at all on offense. So coming to this, I mean, you either are going to be run down on defense here, just run on offense, or you're going to play very slow chip damage on the attacking front here. Ash just has to keep him at bay. I mean, so much damage just putting out there on Greetings. Queen just trying to get something going, but I mean, Cam's not missing. Cam is just not missing a shot. Does not care who she has to take out.
Yeah, but Cam does eventually get rid of one, but the trade-outs are still coming through with Toxic Trouser going down, so you lose out a little bit of that support care, but Memory really is the bulk. But at the end of the day, Greetings is just gonna keep kind of plowing through and tile it down. Polaris is able to just kind of be able to keep up with this aggression. A nice assassination onto Memory as well, so Polaris is just gonna be able to keep rocking and rolling as Hima gonna go down late as well.
Yeah, just big wall there. I mean, you can't get pushed too far, but I mean, you're definitely gonna get first touch here. That Lucio, I mean, you can't, the whole team can group up time, you can get a touch, but those are just gonna play safe and just hold height here. But I mean, Albi already has high noon. Oh, we gotta pause. Greetings is 12% away from his ult, or their ult. Zimzev is like 7% away from Nano. So when it comes down to this stuff, I think they already have the advantage on them. It just comes down to who has what ults ready to go. And Polaris already has 3. Woop Troop has maybe 1, maybe, if they get going. But Polaris is showing that we have the advantage. We can take height if we need to. We can hold you down with, with Rain. I mean, if you're Woop Troop in this situation, you just got to play team-centric and look for a pick where you can. Not force, don't be too aggressive. Play your time cautiously.
Yeah, essentially, and you're obviously not able to really set up a touch here. Just going to go and play for second instead. I mean, honestly, this is just the better move. Even if you could have touched right there, it might have just been stagger picked up that would have come through. But either way, for Polaris, it's the start you're hoping for. You have some great ultimate. You might just throw Nano onto Greetings here on your next dive in, as they're kind of just going to keep playing for this hallway space over on the side. As Woop Troop are kind of content to kind of hang around this bottom portion of the map, where I'm not sure when they're going to even try to take any kind of engagement at.
A big sleep misses. Tyler, Nanos. Wow. Gets 2. Bob does come out, though, on point. If anything, not going to get much more with this Nano. But, I mean, might get 1. Yeah. Gets 1. Doesn't get 2. Yeah. And, I mean, just like that, doing cart, they're getting past bridge. You have Rain, they hold them on here, that little choke there, that little hole, just rains right through if they get close enough, boom. You have Pulse Bomb, that's a great combo. Ghost is getting close to Rally. I mean, better than doing Toxic is also getting closer to B. Window comes out really early and not much area to look at. Kind of just zone control, but not the best.
Oh, I mean, yeah, Gritty's just going to run through bodies. Clenny ends up sticking on memory. And at this point, yeah, you're Daima and you are helping stall at the point. But at this point, if Gritty doesn't go down, this fight's going to become impossibly difficult to win. They're going to be pushed back further and further. At this point, I don't see a reason why they wouldn't get the cap right here and now. Yeah.
I mean, Memory's window could have been so much better. Maybe waited to get around that corner first, but just too far in, and they just knew let's not peek. Let's just wait, hold out for a couple seconds because we're still pushing a point. They're not pushing us out. And Greens gets a crazy first pick slash there. Rig gets a big stun. Try to keep that on alive. Tyler might go down. I mean, with that, Cam gets a pick. Tyler gets out safely. It's crazy. High noon. Ooh, that one. But Simsif get big nade there for on Memory. Cast dual and Alves with it. I mean,
yeah, trying to clear. Yeah, I mean, they're doing a lot just to be able to clear things around. They have 4 minutes going into this point. They still have a Nano in hand as well that they haven't even had to thrown out there yet. So for Greetings, it's going to be a big opportunity, but that's 100% who I would give this Nano to do, and they're just waiting for the opportunity. It goes on to Alibi instead. Don't know whether or not that was fully intentional.
Sleep.
Yeah, and it's going to be tough. Greetings does need care. Greetings is in a really tough spot. Is trying to get in there, but unfortunately, Anti not there in time. They're still clearing it out, though. And it's literally just Cam and Toxic hanging around right here as Deadeye just trying to be a deterrent as, at the end of the day, I mean, they're just going to be ripped apart limb by limb in Polaris. I mean, if you wanted a good start, ladies and gentlemen, you have gotten it.
Yeah, you can't ask for a better push than that. I mean, the only time they had trouble was, reality was first point. Second point, they kind of just dog walked them off, and then, not the best ult by Memory there, just gave them more space. Third point, again, Tyler just needs to but needs to make more space for his team. He's kind of sitting back, and when he does go in, he doesn't have teammates with him. He got saved there by Memory there when he was all the way in, but he didn't have DPS with him because he was 1v3 and in a corner. He just has to kind of look. If he calls someone, he has to hope that someone is with them. Any Dima, I was surprised. I didn't see much of Dima at all. I didn't see him around anywhere. He used pulse spot at some point, didn't even know it. So Dima's kind of just playing spectator role of just kind of zipping on the map, not doing a whole lot. So if Dima and Tyler can together collaborate on somebody to just fall in on, they could probably do so much damage and just put a big chunk out of Polaris here. but they have to work together no matter what.
100%. And for Road Trip, this is just... Unfortunately, it is a bit of an uphill journey for them to make it happen. It's obviously not impossible. All they have to do is finish the map with or without time, and they'll get an opportunity to win this one out. But, I mean, you've got to get off to a good start here. That third point can be really difficult to get through in a lot of situations. So for Woop Troop, you're hoping for a quick start out the gate here, because Polaris, with the comp that they have, it's going to be really difficult to run into, especially up in that gas station.
Yeah. As we get into this, I mean, Wall comes out early, Nade comes out early, but Tyler might just be off already. I mean, Tyler's looking to buy his whole team, but they're just ripping into him. Dima try and get a flank on somebody, try to do some damage, but there's not enough damage to this, this Ana healing on this tank. So it's just not really useful shooting at the 600 HP tank. Vapor's picked up by Tyler. It's a great first DPS pick. I mean, that should be one. It should be one more. Just lives. Greetings falling back.
Yeah.
Ow. Straight back. Okay, to get Zip. Both takes down. I think it's 2-on-3 in favor of Polaris.
Yeah,
okay.
Daima has clear one out. Alibi being down does make the job a little bit easier. Looping back temporarily is Ghost, but it's not going to save their life, and now you just got to take the reset, because you get plenty of time. You got people to get a recontestation. You just have to set this up with the time you have left.
Yeah. I mean, just kind of keep pushing point here. They might come for a touch. They have enough time to do so. Whole team's there. They're looking for it. So I am excited. They do come down for a touch. Looking to this, I mean, ult-wise, Greetings has ult coming up. If Greetings can survive long enough and just use it, there it is. Tyler's out. It's not I don't think got nobody with it though. Oh,
yeah,
stuck. Doesn't have roll.
And it's a good stick, all things considered, but unfortunately it's not going to do a lot, as Woop Troop just has to take a complete reset. And by the time they're back, I mean, Alibi and Zimzif should be back with absolutely no issue. As a matter of fact,
wow,
Nick was still in there and dies late.
Big stagger. I mean, Clutie still has Bob here too. You have 2 ults, 3 ults, but I have on your side. Yes, it also has 3. Tyler's close to rain down here. If Tyler can get it off fast enough with, overclock, it could definitely push in the favor. Rush comes out, nanos the brig, dies in that, trades out, I mean, if anything, the brig's just gonna be like the sole survivor.
Yeah.
Toxic might go out again.
Yeah, Clinty is really hoping to get a stick here to slow things down, but unfortunately just gets taken out with a recall in their pocket. Yeah, and that should realistically seal things up, as Greetings gonna die late. 3.5 minutes on the clock for Woop Troop. So hey, they get some momentum back on their side. They got a couple of good ultimates going to this fight, and with those late picks, should be able to get a fair amount of coverage here in terms of taking over that high ground.
Yeah, especially with these last picks here. I think as you're saying, they have great positional here, but they still have 2 ults in the tank. On the other side, Greens might be close to get ult back, and Clooney definitely has bomb here. So Tyler either needs to make sure this is really useful and hope Greetings messes up again, or they just take someone out first. Pterodon does come out and gets one.
They essentially went to go and try to bully Alibi, and it just does not happen.
No. Cam's gonna keep with the point.
Yeah, Clooney's got another, which means they're to try to clear around. And Cam, I mean, I appreciate the effort, and they get one, but unfortunately that is the extent right there, which means you're able to clear around. You get an extra ultimate out as well, and Polaris could be setting themselves up in pretty good territory. Woop Troop obviously want to try to break the cycle of defense as soon as humanly possible.
Yeah. I mean, go to this. I mean, they just have to. They didn't find the early pick, which needs to find the first pick every single fight now, just to gain some time back in their favor. They're looking for it. Greetings is ready to use it. High Noon comes out. Yeah, and I mean, just can play high, play zoning.
I mean, yeah, I mean, literally just zoning people out. Tyler gets booped off, not able to fully commit on their dive.
Ults, Cam's out first again.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, they're doing what they need to do. Tyler has found one. So, I mean, things are falling back into their favor, and I mean, if they get rid of Greetings right here, this point is essentially theirs. I think with that pick, I think it's very securely in their hands.
Yeah, coming to this next portion. Ooh, big sleep. Hopefully it does not go in his favor. Okay, does not get burned for it. When he tries to get a touch, and dies. It's a stagger. It's not a huge stagger because they don't go much farther. But you do lose, a fly that's just gonna keep annoying that back line. Going to this, Woop Troop needs to make this clean. They need to get in, push up, take him out, no stun card of any sorts, just to have a decent amount of time difference between Polaris. If they get this to a minute, it could be a very rough overtime for them.
Yeah, it really could be, but right now they're still making steady progress as Tyler getting super low. He's getting a bit of care. He's eventually going to be able to back the corner as Toxic is going to pull the beat out. Don't know how much it was needed, but with Alibi going down and everybody maybe subsequently falling, I'm not really going to blame it whatsoever. They just need to go back and get somebody on that card as Ghost to be cut off. But with that, I mean, Polaris still have plenty of time to set up for this fight here, and they have some really good ults to do it too.
Yeah, I mean, Polaris has good ults, Woop has good ults. It's just who's going to be able to make better use out of them and who's going to use them first to be aggressive. I think Tyler could use it here just right on point. He gets away. There's one. Big nano just to save himself.
And I don't blame it at all. You got to do what you got to do. So Woop Troop is just getting cleared out now. Double support ultimates did need to be expended, but you have 3 for 2 ultra right there. So for Polaris, I mean, you could be nothing but happy about that.
Yeah. You got bomb yourself right now. You're about to come back up with high noon. I mean, there's not much more that you can ask for.
Yeah, but Polaris still has more opportunities to be able to stop them as Woop Troop does have a pulse bomb. They're going to have a considerate rush. They definitely have openings available, but there is a Deadeye out the gate here, and it's only going to be good for really pushing bodies back, trying to float and find somebody. Definitely had a target in mind, but it just doesn't do anything. But, I mean, it just took more time off the clock, so honestly, that's perfectly fine.
Yeah, I mean, coming to this, Greetings just has, plays a Kiriko rush, and that rush is just so useless. That rush just comes just so useless for Woop Troop there. And they drop aside here.
Tyler has to go in. There's not a choice. You have to take advantage. You use the ult. You just have to commit. And unfortunately, it's just not going to happen as Memory and Cam both should be able to escape. And now for Woop Troop, this is 100% fun fight territory.
Oh yeah, they're going to be coming out. Both sides have no ults. I mean, if anything, Simsif might be able to get Nano. I said Cam might be able to get OC. But I do think Nano will be more in their favor than OC. Cam gets the first pair on Alibi, so that does something. Gives them, a 1-man advantage, 2-man advantage now. Let's see, like anything can happen over here. Trying to get some on Greetings. Cam cannot be the first one to go down, and Cam is the first one to go down this side. That is
but they've already lost 2. So like for Woop Troop, it's certainly fine. But now you're kind of just worrying about stall right now. But there's still plenty of space. I don't think you had to go that quickly if you were Alibi. And now they're gonna get back out there.
Good.
They do get rid of. They get 1, and Alibi is given the nano. So Alibi is just a killing machine. It's just got to move in to try to find somebody. They're diving the backline, but Ghost and Zimzif are gonna be so good for helping each other out, and it's coming down to the back of Cam. Greetings is there. He's gonna try to pull them down. Unfortunately, gets. Yeah, he actually does manage to get people, but unfortunately, it's just Clooney and Greetings for now. They have to hold on for as long as humanly possible. As Ghost and Zimzif coming back out, Alibi coming back out on the venture. They're going to be throwing bodies onto the point. They're trying their darndest to make it back. Rally
comes out. Just trying to play positional here. I mean, coming up, Rush comes out. Tyler needs to get back fast with rain down here.
Yeah, and Clooney needs his pulse to stick. I mean, you need to get something like Memory or Cam, somebody that can be burned away pretty easily by this. And Pulse Bomb is very easily able to be used right now because there's no longer any cleanse. It gets thrown out into the middle of nowhere. Doesn't get anybody. You need to be able to finish off Cam. Hit the recall. It's just Clooney as Ghost is trying to make their way back out. Gonna get a bit of care. And now for Woop Troop, I mean, it might all be falling apart from here. Tyler has to stay committed to the point. You have to stay alive if you're memorying. They're getting bodies back. I mean, this is as intense as it can get.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. Oh, the Torb comes out. Okay, a little Torb turret in case someone does die. Oh my god, a lot of cooldown just for Toxic. And I mean, so far, still no picks. No one is going down. A lot of just damage being outputted, but a lot of healing being outputted at the same time.
Yeah, I think Green
Green's
almost
so
has another
close.
ult. Oh, but it's not. It might not matter right here. They're gonna have bodies losing. It's just
Wow, there's
Clooney
three.
again. I mean, Clooney does manage to get rid of one right here, but they're the last touch by a country mile as they're gonna recall. I don't think anybody's gonna make it back realistically. So finally, they're gonna push it through. So they will get a minute added on. Moon said it best as Polaris is gonna have 4 minutes and 20 seconds on the clock. I mean, still, even with the finish from Woop Troop, they get a chance, but the time disparity is pretty severe.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a Woop Troop here, you want to just time waste on that side. It's much stressful. It's very possible they hold them within the first point for sure, but as we've seen, they need to hold at least two to 3 minutes within this first point to make it useful. If they get rolled here first point, it goes downhill. We see the stats he led. I mean, Woop Troop, it's even. I mean, Greenies though, 33 picks alone. Tank, your tank is, that's crazy. The tank on the side is doing the most damage and killing than the DPS. So Greenies is not, just knows that his team will support him. His supports will keep him up, and he's gonna go to work. He's gonna go to work right there.
Yeah, 100%. And both teams, I mean, still pretty committed to what they want to do. Woop Troop, at least for the moment, still has Cam over on the Torbjorn, which it might not stay. It might. I don't know. At the end of the day, it's really not a terrible pick, but Cam has been trying to find stuff. But for the time being, might be coming out on the fray, which honestly, I wouldn't hate it at all.
Yeah. I mean, going to this, he's got to play the outlook for picks, as well as he's got to get this thing as far as they can. I mean, coming to this, you have a minute clock. You got to get it at least past that second and a half point. Of course, the best thing, case scenario, is go all the way through, which is great. But the least you want to do is get that to the second point and at least halfway through the second point. Cam just putting out so much damage over there on top there. Amp does come out from Toxic, so they're down one. Oh, Tyler trying to get something going, but they're just playing so congested up top. They just trying to get anything. And Tyler's first down.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta back out as for what you're right here.
You really have to. I mean, Dime at the very least has to stay alive. They are the touch. Nobody else can have that role right here. As you can see right now, I mean, literally Greetings is pushing directly up on Ima to be able to force out something like that recall, as they're going to get physically chased. And they're not going to get the touch. They get killed before the touch comes through. But Tyler still gets it. But it's still
goes high noon.
Yep, Cam is going to be able to pull 1% in. Unfortunately, it's the one person that wasn't going to instantly die from that, as Deadeye gets used extremely quickly. Regardless of that, this fight's still very much alive, but people getting lower and lower on the side of Woop Troop. But unfortunately, 42 meters, I think, is about to be the max.
Yeah, I don't know what Toxic was thinking. He just bull rushed 3 people at a corner and expected to come out on top. So Toxic could have played more heal bot Lucio, which is not a horrible thing, guys. It's okay to heal your team once in a while as Lucio. I am also part of this. Why don't heal my team? But you can do it. But going to a 3-man when you have like 10, it's OT. It wasn't this idea because you didn't have. I get you want to save your Freya. Your Freya was pushed in a corner on critical, and you were at heart. There's no way you're getting there, so you just want to save your cooldowns for point alone. But I'm going to this. It's one team fight, and if somehow a troop can hold on for 5 whole minutes with no mistakes, I mean that's just crazy work. But Polaris, I'm just gonna say P. The Bears, I can't even say it anymore. They have such a huge time advantage here. That Woodruff has to play so conservative and not as aggressive here. They need to just contain. They need to play containment. Polaris on the other side, they can play however they want to play for at least 3 whole minutes. They can play. They can control for 3 whole minutes. They want to. As long as that card gets moved a decent bit, they have the advantage. If they can get that card around that little bridge there within the first minute, Utroop will be on their heels the entire way through.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they just have to full commit to this corner. It's the best thing they can do. It's really the only thing that they're going to be able to do. So they're going to be dumping everything in the Tyler to hold this corner for as long as humanly possible. Cam to try to wall off somebody, which, to be fair, the opportunity isn't going to come often because Polaris is going to set themselves up in an opportunity where they're not going to put themselves too far out there. They are able to take their time and play this game how they have been playing for the past 15 minutes. Ally being down, obviously, going to slow things down a little bit, but Polaris right now, I wouldn't be in any rush.
No. You are already out. Cryo's already out. Green's out. I mean, yeah. Just get some picks off going. And that's okay. Just gotta wait. Ally come out on the Pharah. They have no hit scan. I mean, Torb will be the only issue there. We never know. Ghost going to Lucio. Okay. Excited to see what happens here. Definitely just gonna rush in with Greetings and Clooney here. There's no way he doesn't.
Yeah, just trying to really clear out. Try to find somebody to catch out here. Because if Alibi just gets that direct and catches somebody out like Memory, this whole thing falls apart. I mean, Memory is literally the last person you want to lose besides Tyler. If Tyler gets antied, you don't have a Kiriko to cleanse it. They kind of have to hide around. Is Dama going to get pressed out? It could be the beginning of the end for this first map here. As you still put everything into Kim and Tyler. Yeah, you're trying to get it, and it could be the difference maker as whether or not it works. But Tyler gets hit with the anti-cleanse, and that's going to clear away this point. As Woop gonna fall. Polaris gonna take the first map away. Took quite a bit of work to get there, but they pull it out with plenty of time to spare.
Yeah, and I mean, if anything, there's no one. I mean, Hazard maybe, but like when it comes to these bans, these next time through, there's no one to really look at and be like, oh yeah, this is an issue. I don't know, Cass is an issue, but he always had a support with him. Clooney was a kind of an issue, but your supports could handle it. Greetings was your biggest issue. Problem is, you're also playing the same tank on your end of things. So is it worth it for you to be like, oh yeah, we'll get rid of the Hazard because we can work around it? But most people in these A-Leagues, they aren't one-trick players. They can play multiple heroes and characters. Just get rid of one doesn't mean, oh, I can't play the like the 12 other tanks that are available to me. It just comes down to, do you do a protection pick here again, or do you actually try to do a target ban for Woop Troop side?
I guess I would be more on the side of a target ban if I'm Woop Troop, because you tried to run things, it really wasn't working out, and you need to determine what the biggest threat was, walking into that situation. And obviously you have to take analysis on as to where you're going on this next map to even make it happen, because with it being a control map, once again, we're in a scenario where this is likely going to be a lot of sub points that are going to be a lot of close quarters combat. The Hazard isn't the best in that scenario, but honestly, it's still very usable, and if you wanted to pull it out on a map like Gardens, you 100% have the opportunity to be able to do so. So I'm just hoping to see what the response is from them here. I hope that they get it right, because I think they have a lot of great options, but it's just a personal weight of like, what do we fear going into the most?
Yeah, and on this side of things for Polaris, I mean, who do you go for a ban here? Because you clearly have a team that can play a little bit of everything. If Trish goes down, oh well. I mean, Clooney could clearly pick up the slack. I mean, if anything, Soj would be like their pick to go for, because they didn't play Soj. They didn't play often. I'm wrong. Cam with Soj did his thing. It wasn't much. Dima did their thing with, they played Tracer. Didn't really do much to your team as being like an issue. So on the other side of things, your target ban would be Soj, would be your best pick, in my opinion.
Yeah. But
okay.
Diva is the pick.
Okay.
Yeah, to be fair, you know what? I don't hate it whatsoever. Again, it stops other tanks from being banned out, so I think that's a relatively good idea. You could run a Winston here without any real issue, because obviously you don't have the Diva to have to deal with. But now the question is what the bans can be from Polaris, because with DPS and support open up, I think the possibilities are pretty endless. And it really is just a question of what do you think is going to give you the toughest time? In a scenario like this, or more so, you could still go for a targeted ban. I think there were definitely a couple of characters that I would think are very much in that department that I wouldn't want to have to deal with, and Pharah was one I was about to suggest, and I think that's, all things considered, something that I would hate to have to run into, because when you get frustrated and you swap that far and you start hitting directs, I mean, it's really hard to deal with it without the correct hit scan.
Yeah, in all of these bans, we do have some rust changes. Over on the side for Woop Troop, Mac Truck is in for memory. However, stick with me now. Cam is going to go support to take Memory's spot. Mac Truck comes for memory, but is taking Cam's spot in DPS. So Memory's out, but Cam to support, Mac Truck is on DPS. On the other side of things, as of right now, no roster change for Polaris. So either they don't have everybody, or they just haven't decided yet. So, but with that, I mean, you're gonna see a whole new shape. We're gonna have a new DPS coming in, and someone to take your support spot. So that's Cam's main role too. So Cam will go back on his main role, and it looks like Mac Truck will also come in on his main role. So you have people back on main roles. Cam played his flex role, so Cam could be better. But Mac Truck has to pick the pace of, hey, Cam was being the only the main threat. You got to pick the slack of you have to now be the main threat. Like, that is your duty right now in this match.
Yeah, it really is the duty here, as we're going to get ready to be set for Lijiang Tower. Could be the last map of our night here over on the B stream. Just got to see what Woop is going to be able to bring to the table in the situation right here. Obviously, it does also come down to what sub point we go to first. A lot of brawl comps end up getting played when we go into a lot of the sub points like Control Center. But like I said, Garden opens up the opportunity for a lot of dive. But so the thing about these points, Irrelevant, is that you can run anything anytime you want. If you're that good at it, I mean, you can make it happen. But we're just going to have to see what's going to be opening up for us here, Irrelevant, as we do know. Oh, it is Control Center. Ooh.
Okay, it's Control Center. Okay. So still very possible. Yep, D.Va probably going to do a little, special TP in and then swap over. Including, of course, beyond that. But yeah, no changes on this side of things. Greetings going with the okay, so we do looks like an Arisamir, which is, I mean, I get it, bit about close quarters, but I've seen a lot of Macho also play on this, right? So kind of ready to see how this goes. I mean, Mac Truck coming on the Junkrat, which is what he's sticking with. So this will be different. We have Soj Alibi on the Genji, so he'll get his main back. So I'm excited to see where this goes. Greetings they already have height. I mean, stopping them from going in. Big deflex there by Genji. Wow. Clooney hits the mine and just walks away from it.
Literally. Tyler, though, has been taken down early, so the door has opened up. And I think with that, first point, pretty securely in the hands of Polaris, as only, actually not going to be any survivors at the end of the day. Just going to stall to try to stop a little bit extra of the ticks there. As players going to move up, and to be honest, if they wanted to play this aggressively, I think they have the comp to do so.
Oh, yeah, of course. They're pretty close. I mean, Zimzim can just play back as Kiriko and just keep spamming heals. Ghost can stay on healing and just keep shooting down range. But they are going to move fast. Tyler's going to move fast in, and Greetings is out. Quickly, not even a blink of an eye is he out. Alibi's out. I mean, with this, should be an easy cleanup. TP comes out. Yeah, and with that, spawn should be flipped, or point should be flipped here. And, I mean, they'll gain, that's fighting more than Zimzif there. That's, I mean, personally, you down 1-0 right now, and you look like the underdog. I would not push your luck, man, I would not push your luck. But again, gotta keep one close. If anything, they have window. Zimzif has rally. Mac Truck already has tire, which, I'll be honest with you, did not think so. That window comes out. Oh wow, just getting beamed by Clooney around the back line. Greetings out again.
Greeting essentially just give their life to try to get rid of them, and now with Clooney down,
Mac Truck gets 2. Wait comes out.
And Tyler, oh my goodness, and he goes for it. He does. Alibi though got rid of 2, by the way. So this is not over yet, but they gotta group back together, gotta truly get back in there, make it happen. And Alibi with a 3rd. It means, unfortunately, Tyler's days are going to be numbered, or at the very least numbered, when it comes to being on this point.
Yeah. I don't know how Mac did not get Alibi with this tire there. He must have had the speed boost. Wow, it just shoves Alibi in a locker. Give him no space. Gets the trade back out, though. Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's just blow for blow. It's just blow for blow right now.
It is. And double terror surge is available. It doesn't work out, unfortunately, for Greetings. Tyler might try to think about doing elsewise. It is a risk, but Ghost, I think Got
Ghost
that
is
finish
2.
off on the cam, and yeah, that's just down the toilet right there. 50% accounting. Mack Truck looks like they'll be able to survive and live for another day. As
Beat comes
Beat?
out.
Oh, toxic. Oh boy.
Oh boy. I'm gonna hope it was a fat finger, not on purpose. That is devastating. Especially now when you're down. High Noon comes out, gets half the alibi, but alibi already back to full HP. The Ghost has Beat here. There goes Beat. There goes out. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, Toxic. Beat would have been very helpful there. Window comes out by Cam in the weirdest spot possible.
Yeah, and now Cam and Tyler are dying late, and Tyler is going to die super late here, which means, I mean, the DPS of the touch here, I mean, it's just going to be down to Dima to get the touch, and even so, this is going to be really hard to pull back.
Yeah, so this great dash. Rush comes out just to seal the deal. Blade comes out again. I mean, just waste all those. That map is going to come down to support ult usage, mainly, notably by Toxic. Yeah, I don't know if he thought something or hit the wrong key. I'm hoping he hit the wrong key, but that is not a good look. If you're on the other side of things.
Yeah, but I mean, looking at the stats, I mean, it's pretty clear to see from Polaris how they were able to pull things out. At the end of the day, I mean, Clooney and Zimzev only dying one time apiece. I mean, the fact they're able to have such consistency at the end of the day means you're constantly keeping these people into the fight. Which, when you don't have certain people in the fight, like Dima, like Mack Truck, who had gone down 5 times apiece, I mean, not having that extra damage in there, it sucks, and it's really hard to win fights if you don't have that consistency of damage around 24/7.
Yeah, and I mean, Polaris, I mean, Cam we're just gonna walk in with their spawn here. I mean, they're up 1 already. If anything, they should. Yep, there's 2, there's 3. So that'll be. Oh, Clooney does get a pick though on Dima, at least with Dima. But
yeah,
someone should be capping point. There we go.
We'll do that. Eventually, so, you know, not the most important thing in the world. You definitely
not at all.
Cap point or anything.
Yeah, definitely. This is definitely team deathmatch, right? Right, guys.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to touch the point. I mean, no one has to. We could be here all night, you know.
You don't have to. No one would get bored.
Definitely no one.
Tyler is getting burned right now and just melted. I mean, good support usage. Good support's coming out, but Dima just also burned. And Greaves gonna walk to point with no one healing for them. No one is looking for their supports, and with that, point gets flipped. And I mean, Cam's closest with ult here. Mac is close to Blade, but like I said, you're gonna have almost everything. Alibi's gonna the other side. It's a mix of lacking. So hopefully, wow, big Orion just realized around the middle team. Rush comes out both sides. Big,
yeah,
wow.
Cody is just
These
getting
javelins.
bullied.
Tyler's not missing.
Yeah, but
Okay,
Breeze is
comes
going to go all out to find something. Doesn't quite
Dima's
get
out,
it,
Cam's
but
out.
yeah, they're just finishing things around right here. I mean, this is going to be another one fight. Mack Truck does get one on the way out, and it's going to have a blade for this fight, but for Polaris, they're going to stagger out Mack Truck just a little bit, so 35% and counting. They're set up in relatively good territory. Woop Troop is going to have to really invest here if they want this fight.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna have Beat, you're gonna have Blade, you're gonna have Bomb. If anything, Toxic, both Lucy's are gonna save for Beat or for Blade, or they're just gonna go against it. Big Rush, no way. Pole spawn against Tyler. I think he was stuck. Blade comes out.
And Mack Truck's gonna go for it. Honestly, I don't know if I really hated the other day. Mack Truck was never going to get anything with that. He's going to try to get one. Unfortunately, Cleanse is there, so 60% counted going up. The bright side is Beats are out of the fight right here, so Tyler is going to be able to use this Terror Surge unabated.
I didn't realize Toxic used Beat, and if he did, it either got burned or he didn't get many people with it. So yeah, Tyler has to make something big happen here. Has to bait out Cleanse, bait out Gold Form. Everything. Blade comes out, 1 by Alibi, 2 by Alibi. You get another 3-piece?
Yeah, he's trying to. Yeah, that's a 3-piece combo. Add a nice little biscuit and soda on the side.
I think it's Polaris. They play. I didn't realize it was a keep check. Yeah.
You can't do anything about that. You can try to retouch. They're going to get pulled back in.
yank.
They're going to get finished away. And ladies and gentlemen, Polaris going to keep the hot streak going. There's fourth 2-0 sweep in a row. That is incredible.
If whoever is up against this team in the next coming weeks, I'm scared. Not saying I don't have the confidence to beat them, but when you're going with a team who has 3 sweeps in a row after getting swept once and showing that they are not going to be in that position ever again, you have a lot of trouble on your hands because they are ruthless, too much aggression, and with this team, I'll be honest with you, I think I give it to Greetings. That's my MVP. I mean, dropping almost a 40 bomb on as tank on that is able to hold. Don't be wrong, Abba had a great blade there, but Greetings is just, I think it was just mowing them down. That's my MVP.
Yeah, I'm pretty tempted to agree. I'll go with that, but I do still want to shout out someone like Zimziv, someone who was so good at survivability, about consistency. A lot of the squad was definitely in that department. But again, having so little depth throughout both of these maps, it's meaningful, and it's especially meaningful when you're in that support position and you need to be alive consistently and having impact in keeping bodies into this fight. But yeah, Greetings, I would agree. Very consistent overall, was absolutely killing it over on the Orisa. We got into that second map and just really making it their own and taking that aggression. Had a couple points where they ran in perhaps maybe just a little bit too deep, but I think they got the job done excellently so. And for their squad, I mean, like I said, they move up further to that 4-1 position, cementing a good spot in the top 2 for this week. And then obviously we'll have to see from the actual standings here in a moment, but maybe prepare themselves into that first spot. I don't know. We're going to have to see in a moment here, but I mean, you got to be happy if you're a Polaris fan. I mean,
yeah. I mean, able to keep going, and I mean, they're still second. I mean, if Primal loses this week at all, if they just lose, they drop one map and they lose overall, so they'll drop 2. Polaris moves on into first spot. They'll be 8-2, while Primal, well, at least at the worst, will be 8-5 when it comes to map differential. So Polaris has the ability just to hope whoever Primal's up against, that Primal just loses, and they take first without a doubt. But yeah, if whoever's facing Polaris these next coming weeks, I am terrified. So yeah, Frog's on fire, and Frog's, they're 4th, or they're 3rd right now. So yeah, it's a 1v3 seed, and Polaris either moves up or they stay the same. So, of course, they want Primal to lose, but if Primal wins, it's not like they drop spots. They keep their spots cemented. But yeah, any team that's going against Polaris, you better be ready. Be ready for aggressiveness, ready for people to just be out of placement on purpose. You got to keep track. They are not want to be messed with.
I definitely don't want to mess with them in that situation. But either way, ends up being a really good story at the end of the day. I'm excited to see these matches tomorrow. But for the time being, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for the B stream for BPL here today. However, our A stream is still going strong right now with a match of their own. So I imagine we're probably going to end up sending it over there, whether it's a raid or whatever have you be. But hey, it should end up being an entertaining rest of the night as they're finishing things out. But, of course, I have been Hunter Tane. This has been irrelevant. And, of course, thanks to Nock for helping and doing the solo producing and observing, putting in a lot of work back there and making sure we could deliver this game to you. But, yeah, once more time, thank you all for joining us. Please go and continue the rest of A-Stream. And hopefully we'll see you tomorrow for some more BPL action.
Has it been